Oh my god!
Hi, Mikey!
I'm gonna want to know what you two are talking about.
Well, hello there, everyone. Live with Mikey on Loose Ends with Mikey. We are at Digby Pines Resort in Digby, Ontario. Ontario. Oh my God, where am I, Michael? It's been a long week. I am in Nova Scotia. I live in Nova Scotia. I should know that I'm in Nova Scotia. But we are here with some of our guests who have been staying with us since Saturday. And I cannot wait to kind of move on over and let Michael chat with these lovely ladies. There's quite a group here. We've had so much fun. And I'm not quite sure because none of us brought our computers. We are on our phones. So I'm not quite sure how we're going to get two of us on there. Michael, how do we do this? Any idea? He said no. Oh my gosh. Am I doing it this way? No. Hold on one second. Technical difficulties. I have a feeling I'm just going to end up taking my phone in to talk to Michael. What's that, Michael?
Bringing your phone.
That's what I'm doing. I'm bringing in my phone. Because look who I have here.
Awesome. So just put it right there.
Hi. Hi.
No, down.
Now down.
No.
No, down, up. Oh my God.
Give it to Dad.
Oh, Dad. Well, aren't you glad you're with us, Tracy?
Very glad
Oh my gosh.
to be anywhere else.
Hi. Okay, bye.
Okay. So good evening, everybody. Mikey here from Loose Ends, the Crochet Crowd, and we are going to be talking with several of our Digby Pines crochet tour retreats that we're having going on. It is the second last night or third last night, it's one of those. We've been together since last Saturday, and Tracy with an E is one of my, and I call her Tracy with an E because when I was handing out the bag, she was like Tracy with an E. So she's my Tracy with an E because we have several Tracys. So this is Tracy with an E right here. And what made you want to come to our retreat?
Because I've followed you for many years and watched all the fun and excitement you've all had.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't been able to get away in my past, for other reasons. And this time I had time to do it.
Nice.
So I knew it was one thing I really wanted to do because you all look like you have so much fun.
And is it true?
More than so much fun.
Yes.
It's so much excitement, friendship, camaraderie, compassion, community. I absolutely love it.
Wow.
It's been more than what I ever expected.
Those are a lot of adjectives.
Yeah.
Here it is. So you were sitting in the back of the bus when we first loaded you to come up, and you were sitting by yourself. She was the only empty seat was beside her, so she lucked out because we got a full bus. So I heard there was something going on in the back of the bus where you guys all got to know each other.
We did, yes, because we were in the last row. I was in the one last row, and the people next to me, the other Tracy. And we just happened to get on last at the bus. And so I just turned to them. I was on one side and just started chatting, and we bonded next to the bathroom.
Yeah, they totally did. Now, were you scared to come by yourself?
Not at all.
No. And so you've been trying to experiment with traveling on your own.
Correct. Yeah. Solo traveling. This is probably my third trip solo. And this one felt the most comfortable. I feel like I knew you.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like I had so much in common with everybody.
Mm-hmm. Because you have a common interest.
Yes. A common interest has brought me in the excitement and the thrill of a new place.
Mm-hmm. So what has been your best takeaway so far? Other than all those adjectives, did you have a specific moment that is going to be the story that you tell when you go home?
Being brave enough to go on the Zodiac and being with the other 11 people.
So the Zodiac was the inflatable, and so our boat was so full. So we had a full boat, and then we had a Zodiac for those that like to. Where you went?
We didn't get that wet.
Yeah, I heard they got wet, so
I wish we had, but we didn't.
Oh, please, wet, Matt. But anyway, the Zodiac spun out really went out half hour before the big boat, and you guys located the whales.
Yeah.
The whales before, and then our boat chugged along. Were you nervous to do something like that?
Initially, I was but talking to some other people, they were nervous.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, what the heck? Like an opportunity came up for an extra person, and I just put on my brave hat. And I think having the other people, like I was getting company, and if something happened, I'd be with other people.
Now, I heard you guys on the Zodiac were downwind from the breath of the whale.
We were downwind from that.
Yeah.
Halitosis. Other animals have it too. It was strong, and we all would go like, ah.
Really?
It was very strong.
Wow.
And every time see the blowhole, we all were for the next wave. It was strong stuff.
So, have you been whale watching before?
I have.
Okay. And how did this, the Bay of Fundy here, how was that in comparison?
I think it was the Zodiac made it much more personal with the whales. The whales were closer than the other whale watches I've been on. So, in the feeding pattern, just seeing the mouth come up, it was a little different.
Yeah, they weren't down for very long. So usually if they go down, you got up to 30 minutes to wait.
Yeah.
What got you into crochet to begin with?
My mom taught me when I was about 8 years old. So I learned how to make a chain. And then I practiced a little. I lost touch with it. And then I was in the midst of parenting and wanted something for myself to carry to games and dance classes. And I started crocheting dishcloths. And then I ventured into something a little bit more, and I Googled, and you came up. And you've been my only YouTuber I watched.
Oh my God. That's so why me though? Why me over all the choices that you have?
You explained so many patterns and so many stitches so clearly. You made finding those hidden stitches fun, challenging, and I knew what to look for. And that made my crocheting experience flow. And I grew. I kept growing and growing. And I love the journey blankets, that intricate different stitches all the time. And your videos always made that easy.
Wow. Well, I'm glad that's happened for you. What about the community online? Do you feel like there's a connectivity with the online communities that we've developed, like the Facebook and all of those? Are you part of that?
I am part of that, yes. And it's always a place to go to escape tumultuous world. So there's always so much support, caring, and sharing. It's really a calm place to go.
Wow.
And I learn a lot listening to other people's issues about crocheting, their challenges, what patterns they like. It's good inspiration.
Yes. Yeah. I find the community is what propels us in the future, like what we're going to do. Really, you just got to listen to people's needs. That's one thing that I've learned, actually. Our next guest will be coming up soon, where I've been watching these two young sisters, Audrey and Julie, and just kind of watching the way that they're reacting to yarn. It's not what I expected from this generation, so that they're actually opening my eyes to what I'm missing in this. So I'll be talking to them in a bit. What would be some advice to tell somebody that was going to be getting into crochet if they were thinking about it?
I would say get comfortable with your hook and your yarn. Make sure you like the way it feels in your hand, and be patient. And don't be scared to rip out stitches, and always look for help.
Wonderful.
Smart people look for help.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I heard that saying when I was in grade 8, that only a stupid person doesn't ask questions. Yeah. So
keep searching.
So keep searching.
Mikey doesn't do it, someone else will.
Yes.
Mikey is so clear.
Yeah, but there's a lot of great posts out there too.
Yes.
That can really find their gel. So thank you so much for joining us tonight on Loose Ends, and we will switch off, and we're going to have Audrey come up next.
But before we do, put me in so that I can. Hi, everybody.
What am I doing?
I just needed you to log in so that I can go to Google.
Google.
Yeah, I want to go to Google. How are you doing? I'm gonna start letting you know what's happening if I can log in. So we're good. Thank you.
Okay, so there we go. Okay, come on in. This is Audrey. Sorry about that little interruption. So this is Audrey. She is one of the sisters. I think you're the older sister of the two, right?
No.
You're the younger sister. Oh.
You want her first since she's older?
No. You seem more mature than she did.
100%.
Is that right?
Oh,
Wow, that's a surprise. Well, that's just gonna throw my whole game off. If you've been following us on the Crochet Crowd this week, Audrey and her sister Julie and I walked back from town. We had some really in-depth conversation about lifestyles and a lot of really hitting impact. And I really enjoyed my conversations, but also you girls are up for a challenge. You're like, let's just go and explore and let's do something.
We're down to party.
You're down to party? And by party means what for you?
Crochet. Watching murder mysteries.
That's your idea.
Being inside and warm.
So I was thinking like when we were walking back, and so like on the Facebook, we've been sharing a lot of campfire songs. What the hell is going on in your brain that you know all these songs?
You know, I don't know a lot of useful things, but I know those. I went to Girl Scout camp, and that was my favorite part, was our stupid songs, and they're in there forever.
Mhm.
I think, yeah. Mhm.
So we did a talent show tonight with our community, and so they needed drums, so they had a suitcase, which the camera is currently sitting on. Anyway, what was the song that you were singing to?
Drunken Sailor.
Oh, that's not how you did it. Here she goes. Oh, please, your life is okay. She is younger. Yeah.
What do you do with the drunken sailor? What do you do with the drunken sailor? What do you do with the drunken sailor? Lying in the fire. Hey, hey, she rises, hey, hey, she rises, hey, hey, she rises, lying in the fire.
Awesome. And scene. You both have made it really fun bringing your young energy to our group. I think you're one of the youngest that we've had travel with us. What
I'm the
was
youngest on this trip.
Pardon me?
I think I'm the youngest.
How old are you?
I'm 26.
Oh, you are youngest. So what made you want to get on something like this, like a crochet adventure, when you kind of see like the demographic of who goes on stuff like this?
Honestly, the demographic didn't deter me at all. I always joke that I call grandmas because I go to church and there's all these older ladies and I make friends with all of them. So that didn't really deter me at all. I think I'm, like I said earlier, just down to party and like experience new things. And I like to experience things with people that are, especially traveling with people that are places, because they know the best place to go and the places that are a little bit off the beaten path. And I find that that is the best experience,
Mhm.
and that's how you learn the community of a place.
Mhm.
And I think that's really, and so knowing you guys were from Nova Scotia and you would know the way around, I was like, yeah, let's go.
So one of my favorite moments for you is actually you were on the rock in Baxter's Harbor holding out your dress with there's no wind, pretending that there is wind.
Yeah.
But you just looked like you were just in the moment taking in Nova Scotia for what it was.
That was so fun. I think Baxter's Harbor is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen.
I know, and yet I live here.
Yeah,
I know.
I'm like, oh, jealous. Yeah, right?
Yeah. What was it for you that made it most beautiful?
I think it was the fact that you could see the change in the place without actually witnessing the time lapse. Like you see where the water was, and then it went out, and there was rocks, and there was moss, and there was a waterfall, and there's shells everywhere, and there's boats that are just like sitting on the ground, and it's very. I feel like there's a story there, and it feels like you're in a place that is changing and active, and you're in a place that's telling a story.
But don't you feel all of Nova Scotia that you've seen so far has a story?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that goes back to what I was saying earlier about
traveling with people that know the place and having them show you around, because then you really know what's going on. It's not just you observing, you're getting to know the community of a place.
Did you enjoy going on? So we had to take 2 ferries to go over to whale watching. I'd never been over to that side. So basically I was quiet. I wasn't commentating anything with that stuff. I know we were getting a break. Yeah. But it was kind of interesting even for me to see it for the first time. But when the fog lifted, when we got back and watching, you realized how amazing that town looked.
Yeah.
Because we never saw that because we were in dense fog for a lot of it.
Yeah, I feel like Julie was the one that really said, like, oh, this is what this looks like. Like we did, you could only see, a couple meters in front of you the whole time. And I loved the fog. I thought it was really eerie, and it just made the vibe of whale watching.
It was.
So well
It really was, because those ghosts were kind of like ghost whales.
Yeah.
In almost many ways.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
It was really fun to watch the ferry come in because it was not there, and then all of a sudden it was there. And you're like, whoa.
And I bet you that channel, because that ferry ride was less than 5 minutes.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I bet that channel we could have saw it.
Oh, definitely.
We could have.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
So you learned to crochet with who?
With Julie.
With the
My
sister,
sister,
with your
yes.
sister that will be coming on in a bit.
Yeah.
And what made it? Why did you want to get into her band camp?
Well, our great grandmother crocheted, and she tried to teach my grandmother, but my grandmother's left-handed, so she just got too frustrated. And this was obviously before YouTube videos telling you how to lefty crochet. So my grandma's like, whatever. But we still have a lot of her old things she made. I have a shawl of hers, things like that. And then Julie was like, oh, this is really cool. I'm going to do it. And then she found you, and you taught her how to crochet. And then she was doing it, making things. And I was like, well, hey, that looks fun. And there's not a lot of things that she does that I don't do, or that I do that she doesn't do. So then she taught me. And so here we are.
Your relationship between each other is really quite electric. I don't know how many times you need to drop a hook on the floor. What is it? It's every time, like she's sitting beside me on the bus, and there goes the damn hook again for the millionth time. It needs to be like on a rope.
You really need a hook for a hand. Like I chop it off, put it in.
Now, one thing that I picked up from both of you actually, is the way that you're responding to yarn. Especially the variegated. That looks pretty. And for me, because I like to have left equals right, I always struggle with that variegated, but you seem like you just totally embrace it.
Yeah, I think I like the variegated yarn because you don't have to change colors. And that's quite nice. I hate, doing that. But I think it makes it more interesting, and I think it makes it look more handmade. Like I love things that are handmade that look handmade, because it's the person's soul in it that now you have, or
Wow.
look at it and say, I did this with my own hands.
Yeah, the maturity's just come back.
It comes enough.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna take an opportunity to meet her sister. And this is Audrey saying goodbye, and we're gonna bring in Julie, the younger sister. Than the younger sister.
Thanks that I'm the younger sister.
Yeah, I think it might be the hair.
Oh, it's definitely
The hair.
Big hair.
Yeah. But you guys like to laugh and enjoy the moment too.
We do. Laughter is, they always say laughter is the best medicine. It really is.
Now, when I was walking with you the other night, I said, I'm kind of curious what's go down there. And you guys are like, let's go see. That's the absolute kind of travel I love, is that curiosity, as long as you feel safe doing it, but that curiosity to go. Yeah.
Definitely. Doing stuff for the story is definitely it's a talking point in all your other conversations too. It's a great way to, when you meet somebody new and they say one little thing, and then you say, oh yeah, I did that one time. And if you had not had the curiosity to go do the thing, then maybe you wouldn't have that connection with somebody else.
I sometimes think that by the path, then I will question what was down the path.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Like when we took that path down and we were looking at the water and stuff, and all of a sudden we saw that fox. And we would have never saw that. We would have never had that experience had we not decided, let's go this way instead of going, the other way.
Yes. It was pretty awesome. And just watching the fox kind of taunt the seagulls and the crows, because that's kind of what
That
got our
was
attention.
So good. That was so good watching them do that.
So one thing I've noticed with you girls, and we talked about this, I think today, is that I noticed you don't clap, you snap. Well, tell us about that, because that's something that's in the younger generation that I don't quite understand.
Yeah. I feel like there's a couple different reasons. I know we really like to have the like immediate reward for things. The younger generation, they always say that we like to have the immediate reward, but it's nice to acknowledge somebody when they say something. And I don't want to interrupt somebody when they are talking or anything. So I feel like if I do the snaps, it's something little, but it's a little bit of encouragement for them to keep going. And what we agree with what they're saying, so they need to continue on.
Mm-hmm. So are you both active in the church then that you're part of?
She is more than I am.
Mm-hmm.
But we both are in like a prayer shawl group in her church, and just do different volunteer things for that.
So what brings you joy with crochet the most?
Oh boy. I enjoy being productive. I enjoy TV and things like that, but I always need to be watching, doing something with my hands. So the idea that I can be productive and create something out of, you get a ball of yarn, and that you can create something out of that. And even though I may create a shawl out of it, somebody else may make a blanket out of it, or all the creativity is just endless.
Wonderful. Now I think I heard you say that Kathy helped you make a crown.
Yes,
Kathy Nolan.
that's my beautiful crown here.
Cool.
We were talking with her when we were at the Maude Lewis site, and she was talking to us about her setup that she has.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, oh yeah, I make these crowns. And I was like, oh, those are so cute. She goes, yeah, I sell a lot to adults. And I didn't even think about the fact that like I could wear one. So then she comes up to me yesterday and she printed out some of a couple copies of the it's like only like 4, so rows, and she printed out the pattern for it and gave it to us. And we needed it for one of our scavenger hunt things that we have here.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, you know what, real quick, we had like a half an hour. I'm just going to make it real quick. I just decided, now I have this really cool headband crown.
So here at the resort, we've been doing, Karen's been having us do a scavenger hunt, different things. So we had to have me doing something silly, which we nailed twice, from the lobster base to the trying to carry the boys away.
Videos.
Yeah, but it was Audrey that said I could have the boys, and you said but now it makes total sense. The older one is like having some reason, and the younger is like, just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it. We'll figure out how we'll fit them on the bus later.
that's a side for sure.
Yeah.
What's been your most takeaway from this trip so far?
When you get people together over a common thing like crocheting, we all have crocheting in common, like the commonalities just kind of fizzle out from there. We found that okay, we like crochet, and there's another couple here that are kind of from the Cleveland area like we are, and so we're talking about like our different shopping centers that we have in their area, and just like making friends with people we have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, that's here.
Yeah, it's been great making new friends.
One of the things about these crochet events that we love is that you need to have. They're just here. The resort's here to get the dishes. So one thing that we do with the crochet events is that we like to have the activities like bam, bam, bam right at the very beginning to give you commonality with the other people. So then you start now sharing, oh my God, I saw this, I saw that, and then you start to have connection.
And it was very nice. It was very, very busy, but it was nice to be busy because then there's how many, 50 so of us on this trip. And, maybe we sat by one or two people on the bus, but then, okay, we're at breakfast and we sat with these people and then we sat with these people at this event. And it was nice because it gave us a chance to speak to just about everybody.
Mhm. I think it's so important as well is that when you come in here, like you don't just stick with the same people, like you keep moving around so that you have something, because you actually may have a best friend in the future here, but you won't know unless you're moving around.
Exactly. Just haven't met him yet.
Mhm.
Okay.
So, what advice would you give to somebody that would be interested in something like this?
Crocheting or going on
Generally.
in general? Just do it. You don't know until you jump, and just and keep at it too. Keep at it is a big one. I think a lot of people I hear about crocheting and they are like, oh, I could do the chain, but I didn't know how to turn and go back the other way. Well, if you just kept at it and try it again, maybe you need to sit it down for a couple and pick it back up again and view it with new eyes. But just keep at it. You're going to get it.
So, what was your biggest challenge in teaching Audrey?
Maybe at a time where she maybe didn't understand something, and I understood it obviously because I'm teaching it to her. So trying to find a way that I could teach it to her that she would understand better than I'm teaching her now. So I have to kind of think outside the box and think, okay, maybe maybe she'll understand if I show her rather than tell her, or if I have her watch one of her videos or something like that, rather would help her get a new perspective on getting those stitches right.
Now, one of our guests, their mother is on this trip. Actually, they're both pretty young. The mother's pretty young. And so the mother's stitches, and I said, you just got to be very careful and trace your steps. Why are you missing one stitch? And she goes, I just don't care. But and I was telling her that you got to be somewhat self-critical as well. It's like you're missing a stitch. Why are you missing it? Watch exactly.
Exactly. And however you need to do something, I've heard of people putting stitch markers in every single stitch so they make sure that they don't lose one. If that's something that you have to do in order to make sure that you are doing your project right, then go right ahead.
Excellent.
That's okay.
It's okay. So we have learned then tonight that Julie and Audrey, it's okay.
It's okay. It'll be fine in the end.
It's okay.
If it's not fine, it's not the end.
Yes, that's right. And it's only yarn. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. We're going to have another guest coming in. That's been
Before you do, I lost your thing.
Oh.
Guys, I'm losing it. I can't answer you because I can't see it. I know.
Are you looking for Google again?
No, I want you to log into something I can see live.
Oh.
Because I want to see. This is Janice. Say hi, Janice. There we go. And then turn off your volume. Because I don't want there to be an echo. Love you.
So our guest now is Janice, and Janice has been joining us. So Janice our friend Carrie were the first two people that I met on this retreat, because I got to the hotel, they were leaning over, it's me, and I'm like, okay. So yeah. So you were the first two I met, and you seem pretty outgoing, obviously, to be able to do that, to lean over to scream down like 2 stories. Mikey, it's me.
Mikey, I'm an introvert.
Yeah. Really?
I am. I get my strength from small groups of people or solitary sorts of things. But because of my profession, I can play an extrovert and know how to do that sort of thing.
So you know how to turn it on and come. I'm the same way. Nobody believes it. Like I'm really kind of like tonight. I was just kind of just taking it all in and just kind of just sitting back. But I need that time so that because you feel like you're on. It takes a lot out of you.
Yeah, exactly.
So I learned pretty much a few days into this that Janice here is a woman of faith, and maybe you can tell us a little bit about that, because I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to burn up in hell. She assures me I'll probably be okay, but
I am a Presbyterian church minister.
Mhm.
I've been a minister of the word and sacrament, as we say, for for 37 years.
Mhm.
You asked me, you said, why did you do that?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that's my calling.
Mhm.
That's that whole, what is your purpose, and what is your passion and what's important. And, when we talked about that the other day,
Mhm.
I think I told you that I think that, the Bible tells us that we're supposed to love God and love everybody else. And
Mhm.
it's as simple as that. And it's as difficult as that.
Mhm.
And that's what I live my life by. And that's what I preach.
Mhm. So you came on this trip. You know my personality, obviously. Um,
I knew that you were going to burn in hell. It's okay. You can say it.
she just she just wanted to witness that you wanted to be the witness to burn the flames and help fan them. Yep, take them, Lord, take them. I was very curious, like how people fall into faith and your role, and your friend here, Carrie, is also of God like that, and it's I don't know how to really say it, but because of my personality and stuff, I feel like I'm on the outside looking in of something like that. And you really gave me some really good perspective. Like love is love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Why
And
don't I hear that in other places?
so many people equate love with power.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just so wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Love is love.
Mm-hmm.
Love is saying, yeah, you swear.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I do too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I haven't heard it yet.
Imagine that.
Yeah, I know.
I have.
Oh, that's it. Oh, maybe there's 2 express tickets. Maybe you made me feel very comfortable around somebody of a person of God. Usually I'm very like, oh shit, like how do I behave? Do I need to change myself to be in this moment? And you didn't make me feel less than. And I was really shocked by that.
Since I believe that God created everyone in love.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and all of our creation, and talking about the whale watching, and the things that we've seen, and all of that. I believe that's all been created in love,
Mm-hmm.
and we're supposed to interact in love.
Mm-hmm.
And love forgives all things, and all of that. And so it's just, for me, it's natural.
Mm-hmm. Can you truly forgive people? I hold on to grudges like you wouldn't believe.
Oh, I got some grudges.
Yeah.
I've got some hurt places. I've got some hurt places from the church.
Mm-hmm.
It's not always been, sunshine and roses.
Mm-hmm.
And, and it's hard, especially in this day and age too. Especially as someone from the United States,
Mm-hmm.
to be able to, say some things now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, that's not really what Jesus said.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus said, care for the widow and orphan and resident alien among you, not throw them
Mm-hmm.
in a jail somewhere on a swamp.
Okay, so we won't go there too far. And see, real quick. But it's almost like religion is you versus them, or them versus you. Like it just like how do you get people to connect?
Well, that's one of the things that's attractive about what you do with the crochet crowd.
Mm-hmm.
And that is that sense of community.
Mm-hmm.
And how we're called to community. We're not called to be individual people.
Mm-hmm.
We're called into community.
Mm-hmm.
And, community means we do these things together. It doesn't necessarily mean that we agree with everyone all the time,
Mm-hmm.
or choose to hang out with other people, or, any of that sort of stuff. Community means that we grow together.
Mm-hmm.
And, we take care of, tonight watching the food happen, here with the lobster boil and all of that, and people learning how to do that and everything. That was community, and it was so fun to watch that. And, you know, we've already talked about where community has grown in this week. It's really been fun. I've had fun with all three of the other guests, you know, from who are size inclusive and things like that. And Tracy and I talking about watercolor and life and all of those sorts of things. It's a community, you know, that's that beautiful thing that draws us together. And we live in a society that wants to separate people. I don't.
But I think my main thing that I took from when I started this whole thing, like Oprah said, you basically, it's almost like you're calling, as you're saying, is that she said to me at that moment, is like, you are a teacher in your own moment, you know, and to just give a part of yourself and see what happens. And that's what happened with the Crochet Crowd. And that sense of community, realizing that you're never truly alone, I think is so powerful. But also to take the moment, you and I were talking today about that, is that you take that moment to appreciate what you have just for the split second of time, even though everything else could be falling apart.
Exactly. And, you know, when we don't necessarily see ourselves as the most important piece of the community, the project, or whatever, but a part of it all, and we share that together. How wonderful is that?
It is. Like when I'm standing in front of you people tonight, like it's very seriously in the sense that though we are the conduit for a community, it's really you that make the effort to create that connection. Because we can't force that.
Exactly.
You find your own, you just need something in common.
And the commonalities in this is crochet. And that's wonderful.
What's been your biggest takeaway in this week?
I think the biggest, the best of it is seeing the generations here. I mean, we've got folks who would be my mother's age, you know, who've been crocheting all of their lives. And, you know, they're sitting making the same bag I am. Looks a little different because I don't count well. And I'm a fan of, oh, I need to do stitches together. And, you know, and so, you know, you guys obviously know how to, you know, count the stitches and, you know, do all of that sort of stuff, you know, as well. But it's been so much fun to see that. And again, the people, you know, the conversations that we've had.
One of the comments that I just see online this week is like, well, when are these people crocheting? I'm thinking, you know, that there is a point where the crocheters come together with a commonality, but it's the experiences that you share that keep you connected. Because these will go on into the future, whether you're going to stay friends or whatever. It's just that moment of time of just, because you can stay home and crochet too easily.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But taking it out into the neighborhood, out to the coffee shop, out to whatever, and, you know, someone to say, oh, what's that you're knitting?
So do you correct them?
Oh, yes.
Oh, you do? I don't.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Okay.
You know why? Because the fact that they reached out to comment on it, if they want to get very specific in questions, then I'll say, oh, by the way, this is crochet. But I don't want to kill their momentum of reaching out across, because it takes a lot of strength to talk to a stranger.
Yeah.
And so
true.
I always say, if they're going to ask more questions, by the way, this is actually crochet, but it's not a distant for me, because I want to hear what they're going to say next. You know,
That's good. That's very good.
Oh, my cheeks in the past or something. Oh, 9 3/4 platform to hell.
Hell is nowhere in the vision.
No, but it's been a pleasure to get to know you, and thank you so much for sharing your profession with me. Because I know that takes courage also. like, you know, we have actually a new pastor that's just joined our home group,
Mhm.
and we didn't know he was in the first week, but we found out the second week, and our group is so bad. Our group is so bad. When he left, I'm like, oh God, we're all getting those one-way express tickets. Easy. And, you know, just gracious, very much like you are. Love is love. Community is community, no matter how it comes to be.
And the only thing that you do is share love.
Mhm.
You share that love with, you know, everybody that's watching,
Mhm.
you know, all of us on this trip. You didn't need to do this.
Mhm.
And yet you do.
Mhm.
And you share that and you make people's lives different
Mhm.
because of that.
Mhm.
And that's a wonderful thing.
I actually need to do this.
Yeah. Well, it's your calling.
Yeah, I need to do this. I need that sense of, because it's too easy to stay home in my studio and not connect with real people. So as much as it's made for you, it's actually made for me, just to break out of that, because I like to work. And so I can do something that I'm still working, but just observing Julie and Audrey with that yarn is a big takeaway for me to talk to Yarn Inspirations about next week. Just because it's something I miss, because I just don't see it.
Mhm.
You know, I'm too old for that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If she cries, I'll cry. And so
Don't make them
Why are we crying?
we are.
You didn't even say to the guests that I bought you earrings, both of you. They're wearing them right now.
Where are my earrings, Michael?
You know what? I was so touched.
Where are you?
Go crazy with the knee earrings. No, I was so touched by the girls spending time with the old guy. Singing down by the bay, down by the bay. They really, so when I was at the art gallery today, I saw earrings. So Audrey's are wearing seagulls that I bought, and I bought her some blue whales thing. You know, as soon as I saw it, you know, it's such a small appreciation. When it is appreciation, it's acknowledgement. You know.
Well, and I know that they would join me in saying to you, thank you, you both. Thank you so much for the effort of putting all this stuff together and creating that space for us to be in community, not only with one another, but with you guys as well.
Mhm.
I know as a leader, it's sometimes hard to slow down and enjoy what's happening, what you've created, been a part of leading and that sort of thing. But you need that too, that recognition that this has been already a wonderful week. Can't wait for the last few surprises that are in front.
I'm spent. There's not enough.
No more
Yeah.
surprises. I'm okay with that. We've had Tracy, we ain't getting earrings.
Maybe a couple headaches. Yeah. But thank you so much for joining us. I'm gonna have Karen join me on the thing so much. It's one good.
My pleasure.
We're gonna have our last guest tonight. It will be Karen herself. We're normally in our houses, and hey, so Karen, busy.
Oh my God, I smell like lobster.
She smells like fish, folks.
I really smell like lobster. And it's because I spilled the pot.
Yeah, so we did. So she had this brilliant idea of doing a home cookout. You got to cook your own lobster. I was in charge of potatoes and corn. Anything else I was in charge of?
No.
No, nothing. But she set up our whole backyard of our executive cottage here. We call it executive because it's the only cottage here on the facility that we can actually cook in and actually have people assemble. And you really made it really fun tonight. There's a lot of cool stuff. I was really off tonight, but you know, you go over where I was standing back, and I appreciate that tonight. Yeah.
Well, good. Did you guys have fun?
Oh,
So there's some people that are going to be watching now that are coming next month. And I've been getting messages already. Karen, I see they've been collecting, like they've been selecting their meals. Karen, are we going to be doing this too? I love it. And I can't wait to meet the next group of people as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. And, but Michael, I appreciate that. But, you know, I love the conversation tonight. The community and all of those things, and they're doing this back over there. We're going to be doing this a lot.
I think I might get into the mood with that. That's actually,
You're going to be seeing us do this a lot. Because I'm normally this.
Mhm.
And so
Yeah.
sorry, guys.
Mhm.
But you know, it's been a pleasure planning this. You know, like this tour in particular was so personal to both of us,
Mhm.
right? Because this is our home,
Mhm.
you know, and that you and Daniel opened up your home to these, because everyone on here knows that, you know, you're very private in your personal space.
Mhm.
So that was a very special thing. But all of the places that we took these people to were something that was very special to us
Mhm.
and how we look at this community.
Mhm.
And I'm so glad that they all just kind of embraced it with us.
Mhm.
You know, I love that.
I
It's been
like
so great.
this group has a sense of adventure as well. So we went to Annapolis Royal. So I said to Karen a few months back, I said, I'd love to come to Annapolis Royal. Let's do it then. And so, and then we end up with this guy at that Crown and Anchor shop. That's like, we should stop in front of his store, make his store the stopping point. And he was so full of gratitude today.
I can't wait to see him next, because again, like, it's community and small town, and you know, I can't wait. I can't wait to see him. But he also had the really great fortune of being beside the public washroom.
Yes, that's true.
Yes, and the public parking. But at the same time, God, he has a great little store, and we both stores. So.
We do.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about traveling with 50 some odd women. They like to stop to go pee. As much as I do. As much as I do. Oh, Karen hates driving with me. Oh, you gotta go pee again. I know. Yeah.
Yes. Anyway.
Yeah.
But it's all good.
So this is your first time ever planning a crochet crowd event.
A crochet card event. Yeah.
So what's your takeaway on this event?
What's my takeaway?
Yeah, do you have a takeaway?
My takeaway is, will you let me do it again?
Yeah.
I love this. This is my jam. Creating something that you hope will resonate with other people is great. But and I hope these ladies that are here now, and anyone who's watching that has been on this tour, it's like you put it out there and opt in or opt out. This is your vacation. And we'll give you that space. What did you say? Like, we're giving you that opportunity to kind of, you know, and it's the same thing with me. And I used to do that back in the day when I had my own events with paper crafters. But you know, but it's the truth. And we as creatives, like as people who like craft, we tend to do that. We love our craft, but we also love to dive into other things. And quite honestly, we're silly and we like to, you know, have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? You're looking at me. He's looking at me really weird right now, guys. He's looking at me really weird.
I know.
I know.
I don't know much. Let me tell you that. But yeah, so we have to pack up in the morning and we're heading over to Lunenburg tomorrow morning.
We are.
Yeah.
I can't wait till they see that cute little town.
Lunenburg's so hard on my purse.
Mine too.
Yeah.
Mine too.
I know. It's probably this. It's the highlight stop, I think, for these people.
Well, you know, I don't know. There's been a lot of highlight stops already. Like they're all kind of going, yeah. But it is a beautiful UNESCO town. It's beautiful. I'm hoping Blue Nose is in. I didn't check to see, but I know it was on the North Shore last week. So I'm hoping it's back in its own home port.
Well, I think Audrey and Julie said it yesterday when we were licking ice cream cones, like together, and we're like, I just checked off 2 bucket list things that I didn't even know were bucket lists. Who said that? It was Audrey.
That was Audrey.
Yeah. So what was the bucket list?
watching. I want to see whales, and I wanted to see a puffin.
She wanted to see a puffin. So
I
it
got
was,
to see one day.
Whales and puffins, both in the dip.
yes.
Yes.
Oh, that's actually it's so cool to see those, like, you just light up, like, to give you that moment because sometimes you just need that push to do something new.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
absolutely.
know, who would have thought hammering flowers into linen
Certainly
would be a
not
thing,
you.
because I'm like,
Oh my God. He said, Karen, you want to do what?
Yeah.
You want to do what? And I
Uh-huh.
said, trust me, Michael. Let them bang.
Oh, they were banging.
Yeah.
They,
It was a hit.
yeah. It was, and I'm like, oh my God, and then yeah, Sarah said, oh my God, it sounds like the Amish is putting up a barn next door. Oh my God, but thank you for putting everything together like you have.
Oh my gosh, it's my pleasure. I love everything.
We have a lot of dishes to do tonight.
Yeah, well, it's okay.
Better turn on some music for that.
Yep,
Yep.
yep. But this has been fun.
So on behalf of us here at Digby Pines Resort and our Crochet Crowd Nova Scotia tour, we hope that you've been watching our tour all week on Facebook primarily and Instagram. It's been a lot of fun to get to know. We've had a lot of new travelers for the first time in a while, and I think it's that generational change that we saw, but also the people with new exciting stories as well, because it's just wonderful to meet new people.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's amazing. Can't wait to share it with the next group.
Yeah. So next group is a month from now, and they are already watching, and I think they're super. We better change.
I have it covered.
Oh, you do? Yeah. See, don't mess with the planner. Don't ask me any questions. You guys are, yeah, because I'm just as oblivious as anybody.
I kept a lot of secrets.
Yeah, you totally did. But I actually don't mind that, just because it makes it
What
exciting.
do you mean you don't mind that?
I don't mind that. I don't mind that.
I don't mind that you kept it a secret, Darren.
No,
No, it's fine.
it's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Just
So-
my group.
Yeah, it's just well, when they ask me a question, I'm like, I have no idea.
Dr. Darren.
You asked to her. Okay, so on behalf of us here at the Crochet Crowd, as well as our friends and people that we've met here at Digby Pines with our little retreat, we thank you so much for joining us this evening. We'll see you back next week at 7 p.m. Eastern Time for another episode of Loose Ends. And any final words?
I need a shower.
So do I. I don't know.
Yeah, no,
We roommate really good together, but
not that
I might-
roommate.
no.
No.
I'm not into that.
No. Anyway,
Yeah.
have a great one, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and we'll see you in a week.
Yes. And this time,
And scene.